Yo! Video games.
What up, dudes, and welcome back to the YoVideogames podcast. I'm Matt.
And I'm Andrew.
And once again, thank you to all our generous patrons who kept us going for 315 episodes.
Yeah.
Gee, 15, a nice 5 this time, right before Christmas.
It's our Christmas episode, our holiday episode for anybody who hates Christmas. And we've probably touched on both of these before, but it's a community question. Neon Advance was like, "Hey, what games have you ever or do you associate with Christmas but aren't Christmas themed, aren't holiday themed?" So I thought that was
maybe not. Yeah,
good topic for a lot of you that are traveling. Maybe you're getting on a plane tomorrow, or God help you, Christmas Eve. But 315 episodes. Happy holidays! Thank you so much. And our dude of the week is Chase R. Thank you, Chase. As always, if you're interested in becoming a patron at any level, patreon.com/YoVideogamespodcast. So we have an end of holidays or an end of year thing to be thankful for. We have our first sponsor ever, and they're doing like a holiday push. The different stuff that they're like, oh, what makes great gifts? And so the theme of talking about our sponsor this episode. What is the product that you would give as a gift? I know I said last time, like, I'm going to give the ball cream, the crop preserver, as like an office gift. And that's, it is a safe and funny thing to do if you're in an office that, that's appropriate, right? Hey, if you're an accountant and you're giving out ball cream, I don't know, but in a production office, it's pretty fine.
It may not be like the most, nicest gift, but if say you work with some older people who have kind of like, that hair growing out of their ears, there is a great product that Manscaped also makes where it's a ear hair and nose trimmer. Yeah. So if you've got someone who kind of like me, like is like morphing into like a Yeti, or just has that one long nose hair that just sticks way out. They actually make a pretty great nose and ear hair clipper. So it's not always just about your jingle bells. Sometimes it's a little bit about trimming the top of the tree. Yeah, your face balls, keeping the top of that tree nice and trimmed and shapely.
Yeah. So. And actually, I actually like their nose trimmers better than any of the ones I've ever had before, because a lot of the ones I've had before like pluck the nose hairs. And I don't know, they're supposed to
like that whole like.
Yeah. Oh, have you ever gotten a nose hair that it feels like it's pulling out of your brain, and like it comes out, it's just way too goddamn long. Like your nose isn't that deep. How can it be this long? So I haven't had that experience yet, but I also get ridiculous ear hair. Maybe it's the German. It's the German, right? No, Irish.
It left the top of your head and went straight down to your ears.
It did. Yeah, no, I swear to God, from like here down, I'm like the hairiest motherfucker there is, but up top, can't keep it. It's bullshit. It's my curse. God was all like, you're going to have some semi-decent features, but I'm really going to fuck you here.
Like the hair growth melted down and went like divided.
Real cocksucker, that guy. Here we are celebrating his son, who seems pretty goddamn cool, but got himself maybe a dick. I don't know.
As a big fan of conventions, both of the industry and fan type, I think a great holiday gift is the Crop Reviver, which is like the Crop Preserver, but it's a spray.
Quick
so
spray,
it's kind of it's the quick fix thing. So if you're wearing if you're into cosplay and you got some of those really superhero-y leather tight latexy style suits, really seals in the flavor. You might want to have a little Crop Reviver, on hand, in case, you take a little break or switch costumes, a little spritz will do you. Because even if your jingle bells aren't getting rung necessarily by anyone else, you don't want to be in the bathroom and you don't want to have to smell yourself, because if you're definitely someone who works out, or does a lot of cosplay and whatever, like the worst feeling in the world is being able to smell yourself.
Oh, man. And you know when you can smell yourself, it's like real bad.
It's like 3 times as bad for everyone else.
Yeah,
so
because your body blocks your own scent out until it gets so fucked that it like hits you. No, so I was going to do the performance package and get like the performance package for my father-in-law. You know, get him the old trimmers and the nose trimmers and the whole deal.
Hey, daddy-in-law, here you go. Your balls fucking stink. Wow, do something about it.
I thought it'd be very funny. My wife vetoed it.
The
thing is, my father-in-law would find it really funny, but it'd just be a weird. It'd be a weird moment for the rest of the family.
in-laws around the family. Oh,
yeah,
honey, he's got you. He's got your ball deodorant. Like,
I'm just looking out for my boy. Let me marry his daughter. The least I can do is look out for his balls.
Yeah, I mean, she came from them, so it's like, you want to preserve them in all their glory for producing such a fine young lady specimen.
I love my wife more than anything in the whole world, and by proxy, I love his balls.
Yeah, it's funny how weirded out people get from that, where they're like, oh, like you think, like, look, we all came from a ball sack. We're all goo. We're all goo from someone's nut. Which
is why we love wrapping ourselves in a blanket. We miss our ball blanket.
We miss our ball blanket. Yeah, we miss having that nice warm covering. Because even after that, we spend the next 9 months like inside someone else's body. So it's like, hey, we're used to having that cover.
And if you're lucky, you spend several nights inside someone else. Sorry. Anyway, the point is that the performance package 4.0 is 2.0. 4.0.
Your balls are 50% of the reason there's life on this planet. So,
and I take that responsibility.
Or new human life. So take the responsibility seriously. So keep your ornaments, glistening and preserved well. Because
and also
the other 50% will thank you for it.
The other thing is it's also New Year's, and you want to have a new you. Nothing says a new you like, some tidy looking nuts.
That's right.
So
yeah,
we're gonna help you
out with the old, in with the new. You want that fresh, clean smell. You don't want musty old balls.
And we're here to facilitate,
reminding you of the last 2 worst years in American history.
To just gingerly take care of your nuts. Let us help you with your genitalia. Use our code YOVG, all caps, at manscaped.com for 20% off, free shipping worldwide. Your balls will thank you.
Yeah.
And maybe
so keep it on with well, not yours.
Yeah, well, I'm not, what if I got it for him on the sly? No, that's weirder.
That's even weirder.
You can't just be like,
that's like really weird, because then you're really saying like, hey, I don't want to say it to anyone, but your balls really fucking stink.
Yeah, I saw you yetiing from like the bathroom to your bedroom one time, and it's just has everyone had that scarring moment when you're a kid, the first time your dad like yetis through the house naked from like the bathroom to the bedroom, or I'm the only one that grew up with only one bathroom in the house?
You're the only one who ever saw your dad yetiing anything.
You never had the scarring experience of seeing your dad naked?
No. I saw my mom naked.
Oh, man. Well, you know what? Of the two, I'm really glad I saw my dad naked.
Well, I was like, seriously. Well, I was like 4 years old, and I thought my mom was calling for me. And so I'm just dumb. I don't know. She's calling for something. And I literally just walk. Oh, God. I walk right into the fucking bathroom where she's taking a shower. I'm like, oh, shit. I'm like, doy.
No, don't need that in my life. No, instead I just saw a naked middle-aged man yetiing down the hall, That was what I saw. That's my scarification.
Did he have a little Dr. Manhattan going on?
No, thank God I didn't see. I mean, just so much bush. Also, but just like mostly just middle-aged overweight man, lurching is, if I could do it for you.
Yeah, my parents got married in the 70s, so that's why I definitely am a fan of Manscaped. Personal scarring.
Yeah, now that we've scarred everybody listening, we can now talk about.
This is the most wonderful holiday podcast of the year.
Well, it's the Ballbeards. We're just keeping it fresh. But now that we've scarred everybody that's listening, we can talk about what is. It's not a topic that could sustain an entire podcast, and I'm not trying to I don't know, plug an affiliate link or anything. But what's a last minute gift you've been given or you've given gaming related that really worked out? It actually ended up being something that you used a ton or you loved. And I have one that's super weird, maybe. Not weird.
I have one for both. There was one Christmas where there was basically one game I kind of really wanted. It was more just kind of filling out a collection. And I had my two aunts were one found the game I wanted. And then the other one was well, shit, now what do I get him, right? So I don't know on what grounds or if it was a recommendation or just sort of on a whim or just an educated guess on her part. She bought me Jurassic Park 2, The Chaos Continues for Super NES. And
Solid.
I didn't ask for it. I kind of didn't even really know it existed. But I got it, and it's Contra with dinosaurs and people. And awesome.
That sounds excellent.
It's hard as balls. But eventually I actually learned how to play through the whole game on every difficulty and just figured it out. And it's actually a really good game. It's not some 10 out of 10, forgotten masterpiece, but it's I'd say it's a solid fucking 8. I mean, maybe a little lower because it is fucking hard.
I think I'm done with number systems. I honestly, I often, critics are only valuable in so much as how often you agree with them.
I'm kind of with you there because I saw Spider-Man No Way Home yesterday. Snuck into a really shishi theater where there was 15 or less people in the screening,
nice
kind of thing, and double mask and everything. So, but I saw it and I was it's a good movie. What would you rate it? I don't fucking know. Whatever. It's
an 8 out of 10. How fucking dare you?
It's just a fun, good Marvel movie. I'm I don't know how to quantify this because I can tell you this. I'm not fucking blown away. In the sense of Blade Runner 2049, Mad Max Fury Road.
It's really not fair to compare them. I don't think it's fair to compare.
They're big. They're big tentpole blockbusters or whatever. But I'm it wasn't. It wasn't a game changer like those, and it wasn't even the best Spider-Man movie. A Spider-Verse, I think, is still a little better than No Way Home.
To be fair, though, you love animation, so an animated movie that's good.
And that was a groundbreaking animated film. It was doing brand new techniques, and it was it's a good movie on top of it. It's got everything that you want in a good film on top of being a groundbreaking animation film. So this was just really, really good. And I don't really know how much more to say about it. It's good. It was fun. I had a fun time. I really enjoyed it.
And people are losing their shit enough that I feel we don't have to say you're going to enjoy it. You go see it. You're going to eat some popcorn. You're going to have a good time.
I think it'd be difficult to hate the movie, just outright. I hated every minute of it. I hated
somebody. There's some,
there are absolutely, of course, but and there are nitpicks.
Sad enough,
right? And I have my nitpicks for sure. I think there's a couple or a few, tiny little weird little, mostly mostly on the writing end. But I don't know.
Fair.
I find it hard for someone to be angry at this film or even really all that disappointed because I think it does what it sets out to do very well. It's kind of thing, but it's I don't even know how to rank it. And I had this epiphany last night where I was talking about it with people because a lot of people are doing these tier lists. They make a tier ranking list of all the Spider-Man films. And I'm Spider-Verse is the best. And Amazing Spider-Man sucked. And they all kind of mostly... this might be probably second best. Okay, I'll also say probably No Way Home, probably second best Spider-Man film. But every other Spider, including everyone's beloved Spider-Man 2, which me and Max just rewatched recently, they all kind of blend together kind of to me. Spider-Man 3 is not as good as the first two Sam Raimi films, I guess. I never saw the second Andrew Garfield film. Doesn't sound like I missed out on anything. I did not like the first Andrew Garfield film, and I can do nothing but feel bad for the poor guy.
Oh, he's a good actor.
He's a good actor, and it feels like his trilogy was stolen from him, if you will, in a way.
How so?
Okay, because so Toby got 3 movies.
Yeah.
Tom's gotten 3 movies, plus Civil War, plus Infinity War, plus Endgame. And Andrew only got 2 movies.
Well, Tom's Marvel's guy.
Nobody liked him.
Yeah, I mean, there were people that liked him, and now they're coming out of the woodwork to be like they're the best, and we've been telling you they're the best forever. But it made $700 million.
That first movie was terrible. It was Twilight with Spider-Man, and I didn't even see the second one.
That's rough.
You know what's funny about this movie, though, is that the movie feels like this huge fucking, okay, he's been in trailers and he's been in advertisements, and hell, he was even in an anti-spoiler video. So I feel like the movie is a big apology to Jamie Foxx. I didn't see the movie he was in, but it looked bad. It looked really bad. And it feels like with this movie, like they were aware that they fucking wasted a great actor, on a shitty Spider-Man film. So they were definitely trying to make it up.
I mean, I'm probably not going to see it until it's on demand. Just not a huge drive to go out to the theater for it, but
and that's kind of the other thing I was telling people. I'm like, look, if you can somehow sneak a thing like I did, where I went to, a shishi theater with like less than 20 people, somewhere around the 15 person other people mark, and they're absolutely checking everyone at the door, so everyone in there has to be fully vaccinated. If you can't get that, I'm going to say it's not worth the health risk. If you live in some bumfuck part of the world, where they just let people come in and piss on their seats, like
so LA.
Yeah, that's true.
Los Angeles.
So any DGAF theater in LA or any other part of the country, like it's not worth the health. Like some people are like, oh my god, it's so good. You have to see it. I know it's a risk. I'm like, I feel very few movies are really worth, no movie's really worth that kind of risk. But like, if you have any hesitancy for health reasons, you just wait. Like, whatever. Like,
yeah, I mean, it's not even like I've never really liked crowds. And since like COVID, the pandemic that's been stretching for fucking ever and is never going to go anywhere. Like, I just find myself getting really annoyed by crowds now. Not like I'm lucky that I don't have anxiety or anything.
Yeah, like if you were like, years ago before any of this shit happened, like if you were already someone who was kind of like, I kind of don't like theater going experience because I don't
love
like
theaters.
I don't like all the shit that comes with it. Loud rappers, talking people. I mean, rappers like wrapping paper.
Yeah, I mean, I got that, but also kids, I guess rappers,
kids, that or whatever, or like girls who like
loud.
are constantly just going back on their phone and they have their brightness level maxed and they're on like day mode for everything. So you just have like this flashlight.
That's how I saw Prometheus. There was this lady 3 rows ahead of me who just kept pulling out her phone and it would light up just like this. It was like she took out a flashlight and just shined under just every, I don't know, 30 seconds or so. It'd just be this fucking... It was insane. But that was an awful sidetrack to say that I don't want to put a number on Jurassic Contra, but we should do, if we bring back Saturday morning cartoons, we should totally do couch co-op of that.
Yeah, I mean it's a rough time. Like
it's a real hard game.
It's not going to be one of those like hey, we'll see. We'll definitely stick through. But no, you got to like really plan that game out to actually beat it.
We'll do a watch party of Jurassic Park 3, and then we'll play it. That way, no matter what happens, at least it'll be a better experience.
I mean, well, no matter how 3 or Fallen Kingdom, because like
no,
3 is Citizen Kane compared to Fallen Kingdom.
Yeah, but 3 of the original trilogy is the weakest of the original trilogy.
I like it more than Lost World.
Okay, well, first of all, how dare you? And second of all,
I'll tell you
Jeff
how
Goldblum's not in the third one.
Lost World is so fucking overstuffed. Like, there's things I like about Lost World, but there's a lot of things that are dumb. And here's my one argument for 3: it's mercifully fucking short. It is like a tight 90 or 80 minutes, maybe even less. Like, it is a short film, and it has mostly new dinosaurs. People are like, well, Spinosaurus should not be. Whatever, it's a fucking fantasy. Like, nothing about these dinosaurs are real. Like, let's be honest here.
I don't actually give a shit about Jurassic Park until they bring Sam Neill and Jeff Goldblum back into the same movie.
Well, that's the next movie coming out.
Is it really? They're both in it?
And Laura Dern, and they're the main and their main characters. Like, it's plot A, plot B, where they have main plot with the 3 protagonists of the first trilogy, and then plot B with Mario and Peach, or who Bryce Dallas Howard, whatever, Peach, Bryce Dallas Howard, Mario and Bryce are like B plot, and like at some point they're gonna merge or whatever. Yeah, that was kind of like the big thing where Trevor was talking about it, where he's like, I don't want to bring them back for cameos. I want them to be main characters.
And you know what? He's right. But also, I guess I just stopped paying attention to anything to do with that whole series.
Oh, no, I don't blame you. I mean, Fallen Kingdom is legit the worst budgeted movie, because I've seen bad movies in theaters that didn't really have much of a budget to begin with.
If I saw the second one of his trilogy.
Oh my god, it's so bad. That's the one in the big mansion.
Yes, I saw that on an airplane. Holy shit! Yeah,
that movie is so bad.
Yeah,
it is the worst goddamn movie I've ever seen. And it wasn't him. I mean, Trevor didn't direct 2. He wrote it with J.A. Boyega, or J. No, I'm not John Boyega. J. something or other. He's doing Lord of the Rings shit for Amazon, which I'm like terrified about. Oh my god,
I have to admit something, since we're shitting on these movies. I like Chris Pratt.
He's fine, you know, as an actor or whatever. He's fine in his roles. I don't know.
To shit on him, and I'm just sitting there like, I don't know. I like the guy.
I mean, he's not bad, whatever. I mean, him being Mario is still just kind of like, to me, it's
weird.
Like, it's weird, but I wanted to make that joke last May, and I'm still kicking my ass for not making that joke, not tweeting that when I had that thought.
Prophetic. Would have been amazing. Yeah.
Someone did. Someone actually found a tweet where someone made the joke. I was basically the same joke I was going to make, and it came true. But yeah, like, no, for Lost World, I'm like, there's a lot of things I kind of hate about the movie, where it's like, it's super long, super boring at times, even though it's like pointlessly like slasher flick in a weird sort of way. There's like weird inconsistencies that drive me nuts. Like, the Raptors don't behave at all like the way they're supposed to, like the way they set up and made a big deal about in the first movie. In the second movie, they're all just literally running from behind and just dragging people from behind. I'm like, oh my. I think it's the zoologist in me, the kid that wanted to be a zoologist, and they had this whole setup about how they're side predators, they're flankers, and then in Lost World, like, they're just running through a field and people are just getting dropped from behind, and they're just jumping from behind like a tiger. I'm like, well, what the fuck? And like, it's just
the long grass, man, and they also jump.
Well, they had that weird thing where, like, oh, the T-Rex, like, they eat the one dude, they split him in half, and then Roland Tembo's like, okay, they're probably not going to eat anyone for a while, and then like, no, the T-Rexes are still eating the people, and then like, they don't just eat one person, they just keep coming back and eating people. When the guy in the waterfall and shit like that, and a fucking girl does gymnastics and kills a raptor, and it's dumb and.
Oh yeah, that's right. She does like the flip and then kicks the raptor in the head. And,
oh my god! Fucking Vince Vaughn is an action hero, and there's the weird thing where the boat that crashes into San Diego, where like the guy's hand is all chewed off, and he's on like the steering wheel or whatever, and somehow inside the top of the bridge of the boat, and somehow the T-Rex
broken.
Just somehow the T-Rex ate everyone and put them into little pieces, but then like Scott himself. Politely locked himself back up in the hole. Like,
or that one close-up that's out of nowhere where there's no setup or blocking to show that this would happen, and it's just Jeff Goldblum coming in real close, being like, now you're John Hammond. You know that?
Yeah. Oh, when he's talking to his nephew, yeah.
Yeah, and it's just all of a sudden it cuts to a close-up, and it was shot in a studio as a pickup shot with like a black background and like a key light behind it, just so that you can't tell where they are, and it's just them on black background and him just leaning in real close to. Now
and
you're Johnny Hammond.
Funnily enough, my favorite part of that movie is the T-Rex chase in San Diego.
Yeah, fuck yeah, that's awesome.
Because it's like it's new. It feels like a different thing. Because
feels
before
like Dino Crisis.
Well, yeah, like I actually enjoy that. I mean, it's silly, but I enjoyed it a lot.
I mean, the whole movie's silly. That's why I enjoy it a lot. But
it's so long, and it takes itself so fucking seriously.
Oh, you know what I just remembered about it? It has like an old school 1800s. I mean, super messed up relationship, but it's an English hunter with his
Roland Tembo.
Yeah, with his Indian sidekick for big game hunting, straight out of like 1885 British.
You know
Empire.
what though? And I was gonna bring that up because he has a deleted scene where that guy goes to basically hire him at this outdoor eating place in Africa, and it's a great scene where he beats the shit out of some other like way more racist tourist. It's a really good scene actually, and I'm like, the whole movie should have been about Roland Tembo, like
going
just
hunting?
Completely like changing Ian Malcolm's character to be an action hero for no reason. Is like, to me, was like like everyone loves Jeff Goldblum, I get it, but like Jeff Goldblum's not Jeff Goldblum in Lost World. That's my problem too, is that he's sitting there going like oh no, don't do this. This is very bad. Like, there's like he's doing all these like main character action star isms, and he's not being Goldblum enough. He's not allowed to be Goldblum enough. Like, that's actually a big problem I have, because Ian Malcolm of Jurassic
Goldblum.
Right. Well, Ian Malcolm in Jurassic Park 1 is the chaotician, and he doesn't he's barely that at all in the second movie. Like,
fair, yeah.
It's just a lot of him like staring and looking like super concerned and like, we gotta go, we gotta run now. Like, it's like
I have a feeling that the second movie, Malcolm wasn't supposed to be the main character, and they were just all like, well, we got Jeff Goldblum, so let's just...
I don't know. It's weird. I was so fucking amped for that movie as a kid, waiting for it to come out, waiting. And I saw it, and I was like, at first I was like, yeah, I liked it. And like, then I was like, I don't know how much I liked it. It kind of, and like, there was other things too. Like, he like when he gets to the mansion of Hammond, and he's like, kids, and they give him this big hug. I'm like, these fuckers never said 2 words to him in the first movie.
I mean, but he did sort of save their life.
He helped.
He's the one who ran out and was all like,
the flare.
Yeah.
Like, he never said anything to those kids. They had no fucking relationship with him.
I just feel like when somebody willingly sacrifices them they get uncle status, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess uncle status, but it's like
he's Uncle Daddy.
It was just such a weird, bizarre thing. I'm like, it feels like this movie was supposed to be about
Sam Neill.
Yes. And they just replaced it with Jeff Goldblum because they didn't get Sam Neill for whatever. I don't know. I was like, just so...
They didn't have the money in the budget to fly him from New Zealand.
Yes. But they did for 3, which makes no sense. So
through a Spielberg. Oh, no, I always forget the second was Spielberg.
Second one is Spielberg, and the third one is Joe Johnson.
Yeah, I always swap it. Wow. That's...
Because Joe Johnson was supposed to do the second one, and then whatever, scheduling, whatever, it ended up swapping. But,
yeah, I wonder if that's a common misconception, is people think that the third one's Spielberg because it's a tight 90.
Well, the other thing I like about the third one is like it's the last major Stan Winston prop effects heavy Jurassic Park. There is a lot of CG, obviously, but there's also a lot of prop work, a lot of suit work, a lot of animatronic work in 3. And it was like the last one to ever do that, because in Jurassic World, there was one shot of that was an animatronic or like not CG dinosaur. Every single dinosaur in Jurassic World was completely 100% CG, except the dying one that Bryce cries about.
Well,
it was like,
I mean, weren't there like guys in suits for the raptors?
No, it's literally just like these dude in greens, like these literally, like, they look like Blue Man Group.
Yeah, and they have like the raptor head.
They have kind of like a little raptor head on.
Imagine being an actor and being like, "Hey, dangerous guy," and it's just some dude in a skin tight suit being like,
"Ooh," just kind of
making the throat noises because they're totally committed.
Yeah.
Fuck. Like, part of me is like, those guys are the backbone. Like, you couldn't have a movie like that without somebody that just totally commits. But the other one is like, how do you not laugh on set?
right?
Some fucking
I
dude
mean,
making throat noises at you wearing the silliest goddamn hat and pajamas.
I was watching an interview with Tom Holland, and he said he lost the role of Finn in Star Wars. He auditioned for it and didn't get it. He said, and he says he doesn't know, but he says he kind of just guesses because during the audition, some woman on set, like some like intern, was making BB-8 noises, was just going beep beep boop boop boop, boop, and he said he couldn't stop laughing because there's just this woman next to him going beep boop 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 boop.
I sort of love that.
So I could almost kind of relate.
Now I'm trying to picture him instead of John Boyega. I'm not able to. But to get back on topic, that was the gift, Jurassic Park.
That was the gift I got.
It was a last minute one, huh?
Yeah, a gift I received was there was this one graduating class one year when I worked in teaching, and I got to this one student I didn't really know because like there was the other students were like, okay, I know exactly what they're gonna really love, and one was like a sort of like a pocket encyclopedia survival thing because this kid was a kid who would go out with his dad. Dad made him go out and like hunt for 8 hours a day and shit like that, and he loved it. He loved weird
solid.
shit.
Yeah,
right. So he loved all this shit about like here's how to tie all these different types of knots. Here's how to like make a makeshift compass, stuff like that.
Love
So,
that
like,
shit.
So he would love that. So I got that for him, and I can't remember what I got the other kid. It was something to the that would have Jeff definitely would have enjoyed. And then I got to this one student. I'm like, fuck, I don't know this kid is just he loves video games. I know that. Like, and so I'm like, okay, I got him. So I got him a video game. I'm like, I don't know what video game he would really like that he doesn't already have. So I got him Gunstar Heroes for Game Boy Advance.
Nice.
And I remember at graduation he was kind of pissed about it because he didn't need to know anything about the game. And so I was kind of like super annoyed with the kid at that first because like he was like he let me know he like wasn't happy with it, and then he came back like I don't know a month or two later and said, you know what, I actually played the game and I really liked the game. He's like, I really like it. I'm glad you got me that game. And I'm like, yeah, thanks. You know, now I no longer wish you to fall into a well.
What motherfucking kid doesn't have the wherewithal to at least pretend to like the gift? I was given like triple XL shirts when I was 12 that I'm going to grow into, and that was like a Christmas gift from an aunt. Not in a million years would I be like, what the fuck, we're going to wear this like a diaper? Like, yeah, this thing goes down to my ankles. Like, I'm not going to grow into this. Can't do that. No, you're like, wow, so glad that you went to Monte Carlo and got me this. From
well, I remember
because
I remember the group of friends this kid hung out with, and I remember like one of the kids was like, and this kid, okay, like one of his friends, the one I can't remember what, this is the kid I can't remember what gift I got him. He was well off. His parents were like real estate moguls. And he was like, I can't believe the way he's acting. Like, he got a gift from you, and it was a video game. Like, he was like, how ungrateful. Like, the rich kid was like appalled at his behavior. Like,
just because he's rich doesn't mean he's an asshole.
Oh, and he wasn't, and neither were his parents or whatever. It was just kind of like when you saw the car Dad drove up, and you're like, fuck, they're well off.
God damn. The gift I got for last minute was the Xbox 360 keypad or like keyboard for under your controller.
Oh, someone got you that on a whim?
Yeah, it was like a last minute gift. They didn't know what to get me, and so they got it for me. And
Pretty
when
good gift, though.
Well, when I got it, I was like, I don't really like send message up. Man, I use that shit. I wore that shit into the ground. I use that so much. Man, after voice chat came out on the 360, the number of like shit talk messages you would get.
I'm trying to see if I have. No, I don't have it. I don't know where it is. But like on the it's pretty close to 360. The thing was so cool because it would fit right between.
Oh yeah.
The handles, like the fins in the middle. So it was actually this sort of like it was kind of perfect. It didn't get in the way. It was like, hey, here's this whole keypad, but it doesn't get in the way or block, or bulk out your controller.
I to this day wish that they would make one as good as that one for controllers now.
Mm.
Like I sit there, especially when you have to like search for shit on PlayStation, like the manual search keyboard. Oh my god, it's the worst. But
didn't PS3 or 4 have like a keyboard attachment, but like it it was clunky and awkward. If I remember right, I don't remember.
I didn't see.
I remember there
well,
being. I remember there
have
being
guessed.
like there was a very nowhere near as much used or advertised PlayStation keyboard for PS3 or PS4. I think it was 3, and it was clunky. I just remember it being very clunky.
Well, I'm gonna do Googling now after this to see if there's a good one for PS5, because that would be fucking great.
I hate that controller.
onto the main topic. What's the game that you associate with holidays that isn't necessarily holiday themed?
And I'm not saying holiday themed.
And how much snow is involved in it?
A little bit. Time Splitters 2.
Right? Damn it. Yeah. No, I played the shit out of it.
And I played it because I bought it. I bought it myself, but I bought it around Christmas time. And it's when we were hanging out at Rodney's a lot. We were playing a lot of Time Splitters 2. Yeah. And we were, we would play either the Juno Reactor album. They did music for The Matrix 2 and 3. Or we would play, Rodney would play the South Park Christmas album, the Mr. Hankey's Christmas album.
Wow.
So I remember being around Christmas time and hearing the South Park Christmas music while playing Time Splitters 2, with rockets a lot. Like, I have a lot of Christmas memories of Time Splitters 2.
Yeah.
It's probably the music as well, but, because there's that one song that goes like, one day you'll be dead. And like, as we're like doing TDM and murking people in the game. So that's my Christmas memory song.
I'm trying to, because Time Splitters 2 is definitely up there for me too. 13, I've talked about how I spent an entire Christmas break. I played 13. Yeah, and there's a bunch of snow levels. Something that I was realizing, and like Neon mentions Banner Saga. I don't know if you played Banner Saga.
I've seen it.
But like for some reason, games that have major snow levels sort of for some reason stick out to me as Christmas, and it shouldn't. Like it doesn't make it Christmassy. We don't live anywhere that has snow, for fuck's sake, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm trying to think now. I got to think of like another one. You know what I used to? There wasn't like a lot of people to play with, but we would play with bots. The game Infection on Time Splitters.
Yeah.
For that game mode, because there's so many like Christmas break afternoons where I would play that with Ian, couch co-op. We would just run through games of that. That game mode now still, even if it's in a different game, that game mode or that game mode style makes me think of Christmas, makes me think of like holiday break. And I don't know what the hell that's about.
Yeah, and I mean, there's a lot of games that I got at Christmas, and I remember that. I remember getting an NES for Christmas. So I remember Duck Hunt and Super Mario Brothers 1.
Pokemon Red I got for Christmas. And
I got that for Christmas.
Yeah, it's a Christmas game for me, even though it had been out for, I don't know how long by that time. Might have been out by almost a year by the time that I got it.
Do you remember, kids don't seem to do this as much, but do you remember the whole show-off moment, either Christmas afternoon or day after Christmas or whatever, where like you would meet up with friends and it was just okay, what'd you get? Show off the games or the toys you got. And this is how fucking old I am, because I remember it was always sort of like, for a few early Christmases, what RC car did you get? Did anyone get the big monster or the one that the wheels would break apart and claw up so it could go up walls or whatever? Or like RC cars, you'd always come around like, weekend after Christmas, and like someone would always have like a brand new RC car, or like the one RC car that was like really like smushed and thin, looked like kind of like a Lamborghini, but had big wheels so it could flip upside down and still keep going.
Oh yeah. Well, you remember that time we were going through, I think it was my brother's old room at my parents' house, and he has that like RC yacht.
Yeah, this boat.
The RC boat. That was definitely given for Christmas. We never had a pool. Like, it was just, He was just given an RC
Yeah,
boat.
that's why I was so confused seeing him. Like, why the fuck did I get him a boat?
You
Like, he
just
has
put
no-
it on the grass and look at it. Yeah.
yeah.
I don't even know if that's ever been out of the box. What gift have you ever had a gift that's just never came out of the box?
I have two sitting right next to me.
That's fucked up. I'm trying to think, like, I got clothes as gifts that I never wore. You know, and like, I guess it was for kids that were growing up in the 90s. Those two-toned, like, maroon and dark blue shirts. You know, like the polos that were long sleeve, and they would have like dark blue and then like a maroon and like,
Yes.
or it'd be like that style of big
Yeah.
stripes. And it's now coming back in
Oh
style, and I now
God.
look great in it. I do,
Oh, I
but
saw someone wearing them, and I remember thinking I saw someone wearing them. I'm like, I have boxer briefs that with that exact pattern.
that's hot. That's nice to know.
There was like a striped, dark color stripes shirt, and I'm like, wait a minute, those are my boxer briefs. Oh,
There's a
okay,
ton of
whatever.
shit from the 90s that are coming back in the early 2000s that are coming. I'm waiting for Jinko jeans to come back around. You know?
Kevin Smith will find a way.
Kevin Smith is working on it right now. Steve will be front of the line for that. And if he tries to deny it, motherfucker loved Jinko. My brother loved Jinko jeans. Oh my God. The amount of Jinko, like, fuck. I don't even understand how it was really popular to have like the Jinko jean shorts when I was in like 6th grade.
Again,
You'd have
I'm
tighten this belt around you like crazy so that it'd stay
I
up.
don't know if it was, again, I don't know if it's a zoologist or like the cheapness in me, but like I still do, obviously. I loved cargo shorts. I loved and when I was younger, the more pouches, the better. The more shit you could stuff all over you, the better. Like, having that sort of like, I don't know, like zookeeper or Steve Irwin look was just like something I like always really liked. I'm like, loved having shorts, but they also loved having a shit ton of pockets all over them.
Yeah,
To keep stuff. So that's probably like the weird, really shitty fashion thing that I always enjoyed was that.
well, I mean, I loved them all the way up until I found out about hand jobs. Can't get hand jobs in cargo shorts, man.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where that joke originated, but it's pretty true.
Couldn't you just take the shorts off?
I mean, do you get fully naked for a hand job?
Not necessarily for it, but
Hey, weird question. Do you get fully naked to poop? Like, do you strip down and get to... Okay, well, I guess everybody's got a weird thing.
like that guy who goes in the bathroom and he's at the urinal, he just drops his entire lower half of clothing all the way to the ground like Butters. And maybe even lifts his shirt and do.
No, look, you get fully naked for a hand job, and I like to poop in the nude.
I don't get fully naked for a hand job.
You don't lie to me.
I wouldn't. I can give you receipts on that too. I'll have people verify for me.
I'm just gonna get weird tweets from random people I've never smoked for.
Never smoked for it.
That I've never spoke to before. That are just gonna be like, yeah, the last time that I gave Matt a hand job, he didn't even take his underwear off. He just like kind of
dude,
just.
I will call my uncle right now.
He finally used the flap. Oof! He finally used the flap.
My uncle will confirm for it right now.
The last time I molested him, it's fine.
Do you remember that song you introduced me to, where I'm getting this joke from? It was called "My Dick."
Yes. Yeah, that's a fucked up song. That's by Mickey Avalon.
Yes,
God,
Mickey Avalon,
weird, dude. I wonder if he's dead. He's probably dead.
Yeah,
I imagine probably dead.
Yeah, like one of the lines was like, "My dick rumble in the jungle. Your dick got touched by your uncle."
Yeah. So fucked up.
My dick supersized. Your dick look like 2 fries.
I feel like that in like 10 years, it's going to circle back and whatever generation comes out after Gen Z is going to hear it, and it's going to become really popular again. Because it's the only time in your life. It's like that and the My Balls song God, we used to have that whole song memorized. We sang that entire song on stream once.
Oh
Impromptu.
God, yeah.
Now I
What the
can't.
one I got bitches all up on my dick every day.
Yeah.
That one sucking on my balls, licking on my balls.
Yeah, that's the one. We harmonized that on, and I remember we did it on one of the like YoVideogames streams where like Max and the rest of them just
Oh
had no
no.
idea why we did it, but we won something. I think we were playing Mario Party and we must have like busted it out, and we duetted through that shit. And only the people who were used to watching our streams knew what was going on. Everybody else was upset. We were the Jinko jeans of the night.
No one's more upset about that than poor Max.
Fuck. Anybody that's that knows what we're talking about can go look that shit up.
Or don't.
Or don't.
Or
Leave it
don't.
alone. Yeah, you don't ever have to know about it.
Or did you ever have that kid in elementary school who would just like every time he used a urinal, the whole fucking shit would come off, and he just sitting there with his bare ass just hanging out for all to see as he used it.
So one time when I was in junior high, no, I was younger than that. This one kid got dared to like drop his pants to his ankles, and you know, there's always that kid that like one-ups even himself. Like, oh, you guys are busy. So he got dared to do that, and instead he took all of his pants off and like folded them over the urinal divider and peed just wearing just shoes. So I've seen some shit. Catholic schools, weird, man. It's weird. And also to go back to your question about did you ever have like a compare and contrast? What gifts did you get? I spent a lot of time alone, man. I wasn't lugging around gifts and shit. Like, I lived too far away from friends. I had to hike over hills and shit. Like, I'm not.
I still think
shit.
my funniest memory though was not pants to the ankles, but there was this one like there was the bell rang, so every kid was rushing to get a piss in before we had to line up for class. And this bathroom was already like, huge lined up. And this tall kid was sitting there taking a piss at like a floor up, a urinal that goes all the way to the floor up.
Nice.
And then his friend was like, fuck, I gotta go. So he literally like slid onto his knees, blasted it between his legs. So they both could go to the bath to get their piss out before class. And I was just kind of like,
I don't feel good about that. I don't feel good about
but I'm
that.
also impressed.
I guess, yeah, no, that's
like I don't feel good, but I'm also impressed because man, his friend could have just ripped the biggest fucking fart right into his friend's face.
Yeah, God. That should be illegal, right? Like,
what do they call necessity is the mother of invention or something?
I feel like if I'm the guy standing there and my friend's doing that, it takes all of my willpower not to like bump my ass into their face mid pee. But that's how you get peed on. And unless you're into that, that's a bad time. Yeah. All right. Best gaming gift you've ever gotten.
No, I think that. Oh, well, I talked about Jurassic Park. I think that was.
Well, that's last minute and stuff, right?
But right. Like,
What's the best ever? Like, just like you've absolutely blows that shit out.
For
like,
Christmas?
Yeah.
That I didn't buy for myself.
Yeah, like you weren't expecting it given to you, and it just like blew your damn mind.
Well, expected but wanted. Probably Sonic 3. That was a Christmas gift. I knew I was getting it.
Well, that's badass, yeah.
But I really wanted it, and it's kind of like it's like a game I still play to this day, kind of thing. That was a big one for me. There are a lot of games I got as gifts over the years that I played a lot of, but like still playing is probably like Sonic 3.
So
that's probably definitely
this one year, it was the year the 360 launched, and my brother and I both really wanted a 360. It was the only thing we asked for. We were just like, no other gifts, just everything in on the. And so we got out there, and there was like multiple gifts. So we were like, "Oh, okay, no 360, obviously." And then we opened these 360-ish size boxes, and it was like just a plain box with like a 360 taped to it, and inside that box was, I think, whatever the launch game was for 360, because apparently my parents had like pre-ordered the 360, and they were like, all the other shit was like bullshit to distract us from the fact that they did it. They somehow got the 360. It was like the best ever. Now, granted, we ended up not getting that goddamn thing for another year. Like, they did not pre-order it. They were just like, we're gonna do it. We're gonna get you this. Hey, look, anybody that's ever had a hard up Christmas knows that there's the promissory gift, like the gift that we couldn't get it for you yet, but we're gonna do it.
The rain check gift.
Yeah, and that's what we got. And I remember like that, mind blowing. Like, just had no fucking idea that was coming. And like, I'd been given some great gifts, but like, I'm not an easy person to surprise, because as soon as I know a surprise is coming, I just dig. I can't help it. I fucking hate surprise. Like, I ruined Christmas one year because I guessed all of my gifts.
Oh, I've ruined Christmas every year, according to my mother, because I figured out every fucking gift. Yes, I figured out every gift. She tried to hide them, and she didn't hide them.
I can't help it. Like, if I don't think about it now, like now, I just don't think about it, and it's fine. But as a kid, knowing Christmas was coming, and I just had to, like, all the fun for me, knowing a surprise is coming, I do everything in my power to figure out what the surprise is. I'm the worst. I would, if I had a kid like that, it'd be awful. I can't imagine. My mom loves surprising people. All I would do is try to thwart her. But yeah, I remember like not expecting it, like totally got thrown for a loop, blew my fucking mind. And like, yeah, like I said, we ended up not getting it for just like forever after. It took forever to actually get one. But I remember that morning being like, this is legitimately the best Christmas ever. And I wasn't a young kid. I think it was like beginning of high school or something. And it still gets said to me that that's like one of their favorite Christmases, because they fucking got me. Like, I had no idea. And so like I was just amped through the goddamn roof.
Couldn't wait to play Oblivion.
Yeah. Maybe it was Oblivion that I got. It was Oblivion, or it was Quake.
Oh yeah, Quake 4.
I think it was Quake 4.
Might have been 4. Quake 4 was a launch title. Quake something was.
Yeah, it was the Quake launch title that I got. But yeah, I ended up getting that, and then when we finally got the 360, we didn't have any money to get other games, so I played the absolute shit out of Quake 4 and Oblivion, and we would trade off.
Well, at least Oblivion's a fucking meaty ass game.
Yeah,
so.
I like Oblivion. I don't know. Like, it wasn't perfect. It's not a fucking 10 out of 10 masterpiece, but you know what? It was better than not having anything to play at all. And at the time, it blew my goddamn mind. You know, and at that time, I hadn't played Morrowind yet. I had never played an Elder Scrolls game up to that point. That was my first Elder Scrolls game.
Oh, lucky you!
Yeah, so you know, I was real happy about it. One of the best last minute gifts I've ever given, by the way, was my brother's system would like Red Ring of Death.
Of course, why wouldn't it?
Yeah, we found this intercooler that I had never seen since. But it was basically like this pack of 3 fans that locked onto the back and powered through the power port.
Yeah.
And so like the other ones would be like stands you set them on. So this one actually like locked into the back.
Yeah, licked in the back. I know what you're talking
about. And the power went through there. It sounded like a fucking jet engine, but he literally had a Red Ring of Death, and then he popped this thing on and it got rid of it, because it was just like, the thing would be ice cold. These things would turn on and just turbo power through. I have no idea what our power bills looked like after that. But this thing worked, and I remember just being so impressed, because it was like this last minute, you're like wandering through GameStop or...
But it sort of fixed his system, you saying?
Yeah, it stopped his red rings. Because the red rings, there were 2 different types. One was like a overheating issue.
Yeah, well, they're both technically related, sort of related to overheating.
Well, one was also a disc thing,
It's a disc. Well,
right?
a lot of them would heat up so much that there was this tiny little thing on the disc tray that would either
Melt.
break off or melt off.
Yeah.
It usually melt off, so the disc tray basically was unaligned, or whatever. So
Yeah, it didn't save me. I got one too, and it did not save me. But his
yeah,
got
it must
saved. But
have.
it's fucking great.
Must have done it before the disc tray thing melted off or whatever.
Well,
yeah,
it only happened once.
Microsoft's big old blunder. You know how remember how Microsoft had to pay all this money, for refurbishment, and then they redesigned the system.
Yeah.
To make it stop happening. It would have been nice if Nintendo did that with Joy-Cons.
Are Joy-Cons having an insane problem right now?
Oh,
that
Andrew.
I don't know about?
Oh, the cave you must live in. They're in a lawsuit, actually.
I do live in
They're in a massive lawsuit. Nintendo won't respond to it about it because they're just like, we can't talk about it during the ongoing lawsuit.
I really am in a cave.
You don't know about Joy-Con drift?
No, man. I've been working. I don't know. I've been okay. Tell me about it.
Okay,
tell me about Joy-Con.
Whatever. Joy-Con drift's a huge thing. It affects a ton of Switch owners. Hasn't affected me somehow.
I haven't had any problems.
So big issue. They're in a lawsuit, and it's not going well for them either. But there's one huge. Okay. To be fair, the real problem why we're not seeing a major solution to the Joy-Con drift issue is because it's the same issue that affects every single controller and has affected 3 of my PlayStation controllers in the last 6 months.
Just like when your stick starts
drifts.
reading yeah, okay. How are they in a lawsuit over that? Every controller does that eventually.
Well, because they're basically saying like they knew it was a problem and didn't do anything about it. And it's not looking great for them. But here's the issue: is that it's a parts problem. It is, but there's only one sole manufacturer of this particular parts in joysticks. And
Wow.
Guess what? They make that part for every fucking controller. Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo, they all have the same issue because they're all getting parts from
so why
the
is only
same
Nintendo
supplier.
being sued?
It's a good question.
That seems fucked up.
I'm guessing it's because Nintendos are more prone to break because they're smaller. So I think there's more drifting Joy-Cons than say drifting. Like I said, I've had 3 PS controllers drift. I have my PS5 drifts, my second PS4 drifts, and my first PS1 4 drifted as well. 2 PS4, 1 PS5 controller, they all drift.
Yeah, both of my PS4 controllers
that work.
and the
my
sprint
Joy-Cons
button broke.
Yeah, my Joy-Con works. My Joy-Cons work, and my fucking Pro controller works, and my Xbox One controller works, but my PlayStation controllers are pieces of shit. So,
yeah,
in the weird cosmic scale of luck, Max has no luck with Nintendo products. I have no luck with Sony products. Well, not no luck, but I have bad luck with Sony products. At least my systems work. Steve's had multiple issues with his PS4 and PS5. So
the only issue that I have with my PS4 is that when streaming from my PS4, or not from it, but like running from a PS4 into a capture card and into the stream, for some reason the audio is fucked out of the PS4. There's like a weird audio issue. But the controllers all break eventually on me, so I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. That's weird.
Real goddamn annoying, I can tell you that. And it's not getting fixed anytime soon because, A, this lawsuit's going to run through its course because it's going through. It's not being dismissed or settled. And I don't know. Like, it feels to me like someone should really start up a parts manufacturing plant somewhere so that they can compete.
All right. Well, any final thoughts on games that remind you of Christmas without actually being Christmassy?
Not Christmassy.
You've leaned back, by the way, so it's just your head. It looks like you're really short.
No, so
it looks like you're really short and trying to reach over the edge of the frame.
Yeah. Wait, watch this. Wait. Yeah.
That's nice. Yeah. If you were wearing cargo shorts right now, I'd believe you're getting a hand job.
I was close to it. With the pants. I'm wearing pants.
Yeah, so no hand jobs for you.
I didn't say that.
No Christmas hand jobs. It's unfortunate.
Hey, I got I could run to the market and get some. Well, it's not really a hand job, but I could get some peanut butter for for my roommate's pets.
The unfortunate thing is I know that your roommate's pets are cats, and anybody that's ever been licked by a cat knows.
I'll get some tuna. I'm really into the rough stuff. Like I want that sandpapery grit on my balls.
Oh, a cat tongue. On that note, I guess
some people are into that. I am not.
Oh, your poor balls. But thank God for your cats. Your balls are going to smell fresh as fuck. So
my balls do smell fresh as fuck thanks to Manscaped.
Work it in. Okay. For my last Christmassy game, Rolling Thunder 2 reminds me of Christmas because I got given it on a Christmas when I was a kid. It was the game given to us when we got a Sega Genesis. Greatest Santa Claus gift ever. Rolling Thunder 2. Maybe in hindsight, not the best
Whoever
gift.
bought that had to have done it just because it looked like James Bond on the cover.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, I mean, it was the hardest goddamn game for us to beat. There was like one level that we just couldn't get past for the longest fucking time. Like years. There were years where we couldn't get past this fucking thing. And I think, did we play? We played it on a stream once, right?
I don't think we played it much. If we did,
yeah. But that's my last game. As always, we've got some patrons to thank. If you're interested in becoming a patron at any level, please check out patreon.com/YoVideogames podcast. Due to the week was Chase R. Thank you, Chase. And our producers for this episode are The Arnett, Screwnami, Top 35, HyperViper89, Hockey Kong 64, Ziggy Z, Online Persona, and Miles XVS. Thank you, dudes, and we will catch you next time.
Later, dudes, and Merry Christmas, Movie House.